So you want to find something on the internet. So you go to Google, not Bing, Google. And you type in what you're looking for, and you're a smart person. You know how to optimally use a search engine. You do it. And you still can't find anything useful. But you do have a problem, right? There's something you're looking for, something you're trying to solve in your life. There is a solution. Maybe like me, you go to ChatGPT. You ask ChatGPT, a large language model that tends to show a behavior that it understands what you're looking for, and then it takes your problem, it takes your questions, in no matter what language you write it in, goes to the internet, finds all the search results, filters them, puts it into your context, and presents it to you. Within seconds, you have exactly what you were looking for. Voila. But what if I told you that might be the reason the economy will collapse? I am, of course, talking about the AI bubble. Take a look at this graph. There are two types of companies here, broadly speaking. There's companies like Nvidia, Amazon, AMD, Oracle, companies that are providing the hardware or hardware-related services to deliver or run AI on. But then we also have companies like OpenAI, Microsoft, Google, Anthropic. These are companies that have their own AI. So when you use ChatGPT, the parent company OpenAI here, they are using hardware from Nvidia to basically run their model. Now, Nvidia is the largest company on the planet right now. But if you look at the arrows, these are investments. So the biggest company is getting investments from its own clients. And then it's also investing right back into them. And this is the bubble. When OpenAI invests into Nvidia, the value of Nvidia goes up. And when Nvidia invests back into OpenAI, the value of OpenAI goes up. On a broad scale, that's how the economy works. But when all of your money is aggregating into these cross investments, that means most of the market is leveraged between these two. And unless the money is generating itself or generating any value, and so we start getting articles like this. Are we in an AI bubble? People do have this question, like, is this just something that's overinflating? Well, take a look at this. Bernstein pointed to OpenAI, which has already made $1 trillion deals in AI, including a $500 billion data center build-out project, despite being set to generate only $13 billion in revenue. The biggest issue is AI is not profitable. There is no profitable business model behind some of the most heavily invested businesses. And it gets worse. These companies that are spending so much money generating AI models and then trying to charge you a small fee to lend you that model and provide you a service. Well, if you look at China with their open AI models like DeepSeek, we realize that the AI itself can just be obtained for free. In fact, you don't even need a cloud infrastructure. You can just download the program, download the AI model and run it on your machine, right? YouTube is filled with tutorials on how to do that. So how are these massive corporations going to make back their money? I mean, Nvidia, sure, as long as it's selling GPUs, it's not out of business. It's providing a real product. But what about OpenAI? With DeepSeek readily available for you to download on your computer and run it, why would you use ChatGPT except for the convenience and the fact that maybe you already have the app on your phone? This might be the reason, because soon we might not have our local devices to use AI on, or basically even anything else. Take a look at this article, right? This is from January of this year. And what we are finding is that companies like SK Hynix, they've already sold out their entire RAM production for 2026. Because they're building so many data centers to store data, process data, and basically having to deal with so much use of the AI, they need more and more RAM, more and more hard disks, more and more electronic infrastructure. Because remember, AI is very inefficient right now. And that means you and I, we are at the bottom of the priority list when it comes to having computer hardware. You might want to run an AI, but what about OpenAI? Who wants to run AI for everyone? Maybe the Stone Ages are meant for us. Okay, I speak in jest. We're not going to the Stone Ages, but it is very important to acknowledge the fact that the economy is investing heavily into businesses that don't really have profitable business models. So a day will come when this bull run will correct itself. And the bigger it is, the harder it will fall. Now, despite the financial responsibilities that we just discussed, we have had AI for a long time. AI itself is a subset of machine learning. So basically, you give data and allow a machine to recognize patterns, re-implement them. All right. So things like live monitoring of voice calls. They've been doing it since the early 2000s. YouTube's moderation system. That's an AI. We've had AI in one form or another in many parts of our economy. It was just not as efficient or as complex as it has become with these language models. So now everyone is putting more and more time and energy into developing businesses as well as applications around this new generation of AI. And India, we're not going to be left behind. This year, India hosted the AI Summit, right? 2026, showing the world we can do it. Now let me show you what we showed the world.
Ah, that's a robot. It's a cute little robot. It's waving. Yes.
वाह वाह, क्या इनोवेशन है?
ये ओरायन रोबोटिक डॉग या रोबोटिक कुत्ता का है हिंदी में, लेकिन ये थोड़ा अलग है, हटके। आजकल हम देख पाते हैं क्रिकेट स्टेडियम में ऐसा चल रहा है, लेकिन ये थोड़ा हटके है।
पीछे से नेहा जी फुल कॉन्फिडेंस में, हाँ हाँ बिल्कुल हमने बनाया है।
This has been developed by the Center of Excellence at the Galgotias University. From the end-to-end engineering to the application, we have a simulation lab to an application arena, and that's India's first soccer arena on campus.
ये भी बनाया, वो भी बनाया, सब कुछ बनाया हमने। वाओ, आपने कितना कुछ बना दिया।
Why do I sense sarcasm in that wonderful journalist's voice? After all, an indigenous robot dog, a robotic AI drone, we seem to be at the forefront of technology. Especially the Center of Excellence, Galgotia University.
Goti.
I mean, what's there to hate? This is the vision India wants the world to know it has. This is our potential. Why so jealous, ma'am? That's what we call Indian aspirations meeting Indian reality. See, that robotic dog was brought from China. And they had another drone there that was supposed to be made in India that was actually bought from South Korea. In fact, it was so shameful and embarrassing. They just turned off the electricity to the pavilion and hushed everyone out. That lady who was speaking in the camera talking about how their center of excellence had made it from end to end. She just started gaslighting everyone like, no, we never said that, even though she's on video saying it. It was arguably embarrassing, but also kind of the reality of where India is in terms of its own AI applications and development. And this is a university, right? So these are prototypes, one of one being made. It's not something that's really available in the market even today. Whereas in reality, the rest of the world is much further ahead, especially countries that India doesn't consider friendly and has sitting on its own border, like China, the ones they bought the robotic dog from.
Totally awesome or totally frightening. Look at this. China's military has released this video of a four-legged robot marching through a field with an automatic rifle mounted on its back. The Chinese state broadcaster calls it the newest member of China's urban combat operations.
Yeah, India ain't leading AI at the moment, but It begs the question, how did such a scam make it to such a stage, right? And let me tell you something even funnier. Let me show you actually. What you have here is a paper by the same university talking about how the sound of banging steel plates and ringing bells kills the coronavirus. COVID-19 could be killed just by banging plates together. There is previous scientific proof. Oh, wait. What? Oh, I have to speak this in a broken English accent now. There is previous scientific proved and initiative taken by Indian Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. He encourages his country to make vibration sound for 5 minutes at March 22, 2020. That is a published paper. A paper that praised the Prime Minister by saying, you had the wisdom of telling us to go every evening and clang our utensils, which honestly, nobody still knows why the hell we were doing something so stupid, but the Prime Minister said it and the masses followed. And they said, well, sir, you were so wise. You were so wise. We found out just by banging those metal plates together, we were killing the COVID virus. So they gave the Prime Minister a reach around and he got them on the stage. That is the reality of how the whole country was embarrassed on an international stage.